Hey everybody, Synthetic Future here. Today I want to take a first look at Eventide's Blackhole Reverb. I'm going to cover this reverb a little bit more in the future from a sound design perspective. But right now I just want to take a quick look at what it can do, what it sounds like. Now the sound you're hearing right now is from my D50 using the internal reverb unit. Pretty intense sounding already. So I'm going to strip the reverb from this sound and we'll switch on Blackhole and see what that sounds like. So here we go. Sounds instantly pretty thin, so let's turn on Blackhole. Very lush sounding. So let's go over the controls. We have an input volume and output volume. Of course a mix dial, how much reverb we will be hearing. And then we get to gravity. Now this is a very interesting control. When it's set to 0, let's put it at 0. Nothing exceptionally crazy. You can hear the tails a lot longer now. So it drags out the delay, but it gets more interesting when we go backwards. We now get reverse delay, and when we get into sound design, this is a really interesting feature to use, because you can reverse the delay and then pull it back into forward. Or the other way around, go forward from backward. So that's pretty cool. Let's keep it relatively controlled right now. Size, of course. And one of the nice things is that this reverb has a really nice sound when you automate this parameter. It's almost tape-like. So let's put it back at where it was. Now pre-delay delays reverb sound a little bit so it doesn't get stuck in your initial attack sound. So this is the most extreme setting. Usually you'll keep this fairly low just so you can get the attack out before the reverb hits. Alright, now we have a low and a high EQ. The low EQ portion controls the sound up to 300 Hertz. So you can cut out the low end in the reverb, or you can really amplify it. Also a very nice control to have for sound design, to really get that boomy reverb sound going. Back to the default, and we also have of course our high control. And this controls frequencies above 2000 Hz. You can use this to make it really tinny sounding, especially if you drop down the bottom. We also have resonance for these frequency controls. Make it sing. So let's pop this back into our default mode. Feedback controls how much of the reverb signal is sent back into the reverb. So this effectively enlongs the reverb. It also goes into infinite mode, where basically only the filters keep it from going on forever. And there's also freeze mode. And in freeze mode it will not accept any new input into the reverb, only what is already in the reverb. We also have a freeze button right here, which instantly freezes the feedback and the modulation depth. Now the modulation depth and rate control the craziness of the tail, so let's exaggerate that. So this is obviously a little bit overkill. But it does add just a little bit of extra texture into the equation to make it a little bit more shiny. Another feature which is interesting is this ribbon controller in the bottom. Right now it does absolutely nothing, but if you click one of these buttons, it will take these settings, which will now be the left side, and we can push the button on the right side, and we can just move stuff around, like for instance, I don't know, let's do this. Now if we deactivate this, the sliders will, knobs will follow the slider. Let's make it even more dramatic. This is also coupled to the mod wheel of your keyboard if you're using a keyboard. And you can also, of course, automate it in your DAW, which is pretty interesting. You can switch between parameters as well, or seamlessly move between the two options. Kill kills the input of the reverb, but it still allows the reverb to make a sound. Of course, there's a whole lot of interesting presets as well, so let's listen to a few. So that's exceptionally nice sounding. Let's switch to a little bit of drums, not going to cover too much of it, just a little bit of drums. So right now this is actually Scentmaster. These are my drums. So I've got addictive drums loaded. And this is where you can already hear the sound design qualities of this plugin. Create huge sounding hits. So it can go into really sound designy, huge territory. Let's keep the drums to a minimum because I'm going to cover more drums in the sound design part of this plugin. And last but not least, let's jump to a little bit of Scentmaster. So right here is the basic sound. It's the initial preset, pretty well known riff. So it's completely dry. As you can hear, there's a really good way of handling the low end of sounds. So there we go. So here's our initial look at Blackhole by Eventide. As said, I will be going into a little bit more of a sound design part with this plugin in a later video to show some ways to make some interesting hit sounds and get some really good stuff out of this plugin. I hope you enjoyed this first look at it, and I'll see you around. Bye!